The people who came for the train content, they're just like, oh, the classy wheel video. They click on it, it's a wedding. They're like, oh, I wanted the tree.
Do you ever have one of those days where completely different parts of your life suddenly collide in a perfect and wonderful way, changing your future forever? Even if you have, I bet you've never heard a trip report begin like that. This is the story of how I rode the Acela, the fastest train in North America, from Boston to Washington, and why because of this trip, I'm married. In early 2022, my longtime college friend Kalkidan told me she'd never been on an Amtrak train before, so we decided to film her first ever ride for this channel. Well, Kalkidan told me she'd never been on an Amtrak train before.
Yes.
So I told her, hey, we could do a day trip. We can go down to Mystic or New London or even New York if we're feeling ambitious.
Sorry guys, I'm very short, so I have to adjust it.
Yeah.
No, don't
How about
pause.
And she said,
why don't we go to DC and have Ethiopian food? And yeah.
yeah, it turned out the cheapest way was the Acela.
Yeah.
In retrospect, I should have known Kalki would suggest something like this. She'd had a special passion for life since I'd met her as a freshman at our college in Massachusetts, and she'd already begun the adventure of a lifetime by coming to the US on her own as an international student from Ethiopia. She'd been the most frequent companion on my day trips into Boston and around the North Shore, many of which I took using a bike that she had found for me, although she may have ended up regretting this. It's a beautiful day here at Hamilton Wenham train station. We just had a nice little bike ride over to the station and
I just want to say, please don't hang out with white people. All they make you do is exercise. I'm in so much pain, you guys. I can't even feel my legs. Look at my chunky legs, they're gone.
During one day trip to Boston, she'd even suggested I start making YouTube videos about my trips. I turned the idea down. Surely the camera would get in the way of having fun, right? But then I came across Miles in transit, and inspired by him, I started doing exactly what she had suggested. So Kalki, if you're watching, I was wrong and you were right. Anyways, it turned out the cheapest train from Boston to DC, booked 3 months in advance, was in fact the Acela, which usually costs significantly more than the slower Northeast Regional. Like I said last week, pricing algorithms are wild, aren't they? Of course, we sprung for the deal. Now here's another thing about Kalkidan. Besides being adventurous, she was also a great traveling companion, both on and off screen.
Hello, cars. How do you feel driving slow as compared to us?
This is the prettiest part of the entire Northeast Corridor.
Really?
Yeah.
That's it?
The speedy Acela trip seemed to pass even faster than normal with her, as we laughed and joked and chatted. In DC, we turned the camera off to visit the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception, the largest Catholic church in the United States, which I discovered while filming a previous video. We attended Mass here, and while neither of us are Catholic, it was fun to explore this other branch of our faith. Then I clicked the camera back on to show Kalkidan the Wheaton Metro Station escalator, the longest escalator in the Western Hemisphere, which was of course broken. Nevertheless, I made her climb up it. The harder the battle, the more glorious the triumph, Kalkidan! Then I hid at the top and waited for her to get confused. I was hiding behind this wall.
I don't want to do this ever again. It's so painful.
Then I suggested we walk, going back down the escalator.
No.
Let me see how much time I can save by walking versus Kalkidan, who's not walking.
What lesson did you learn? Slow and steady wins the race.
And then I told her I had feelings for her. Okay, there was a space of a couple days between those last two events, including a visit to Betseb Ethiopian restaurant where we finally got our long overdue Ethiopian food, and an overnight bus ride back to Boston. I'd known Kalkidan for a long time as a friend, but after going on this fun adventure with her, just the two of us, I wanted to know her as more than that. Being with her had been so fun and natural, and I wanted to have more days like this with her, whether trips or ordinary life. So by the time I'd finished my stay in the Boston area that summer, we were a couple. It was definitely a perk to start dating someone I'd already known for a long time, but there was still a process of getting to know each other on a deeper level as romantic partners. This process involved keeping our love on the DL for a while as we got close to each other, although I did drop some rather major hints in a few videos. This process also included such things as reviewing the Cape Flyer, visiting Ethiopia and its railways and flying back on Ethiopian Airlines, taking Amtrak cross-country from Boston to California, and riding the New York Holiday Nostalgia train on the subway, the latter of which was followed by me asking Kalkidan to be my wife. Of course, she said yes, and we were soon gearing up for our wedding. Family, friends, and the community of fellow transit nerds I built through this channel surrounded and supported us during our wedding week, including Alex Davis, filming Kalkidan and her bridesmaids getting ready for the ceremony.
So when you're on your 5th trip on the
Yes.
California Zephyr,
Yes.
what do you have to say to yourself when you have reached that point?
Hopefully you found a better way to sleep. Probably a sleeper car. If not, well, we're still broke. The thing is, I can fit. The problem is Caleb can't fit. So that's the issue. If there's a way we could, solve that.
Well, you could put the tray tables down, a piece of cardboard, you could lie on the tray tables.
And then he can...
He's in the seats.
My other friends also left me a few surprises in the wedding footage.
I would like to send a formal complaint against whoever planned this wedding. I'm going to blame it on Caleb, obviously. This hostile architecture for the benches here, the seats. If I wanted to lie down across these, I couldn't.
Hi, I'm a guest. I get free food.
I wish there was a sleeper option at this wedding.
Say the thing.
Now that is a fun fact.
Holding this wedding without extending the Amtrak Keystone on a new branch line.
Eating raisins from out of my pocket that I stole from the church.
I wish the wedding had had a hard stop at 7:15 p.m. so we could have gotten the last Amtrak Keystone train. Congratulations.
So for all of you single people watching who are hoping to find or get to know that special someone, I'll leave you with this. Build your love on friendship. If you're going to commit to your person, you need to like them, and not just in a romantic way, but in a, hey, I could have fun just being in your presence way. And sometimes the best way to build that friendship might just be a trip on the Acela. As for me, being married to Kalkidan has been one of the most incredible blessings in my life. There's nothing like having a best friend to come home to every day, someone you can stay up watching Instagram reels with or explore new parts of your city with, and her love of experience and adventure is something I always wanted in a life partner. So how are you feeling, Kalkidan?
Go bird!
Which is why, for her Christmas gift this past winter, I had to ask her this. Why don't we go to DC and get some Ethiopian food?
Doors opening. Step back to allow customers to exit.
Oh, no.
Welcome back to the longest escalator in the Western Hemisphere.
I have not changed. I've gained weight. Okay? There's no way I am escalating myself. I almost fell. Watch me elevate.
So this is the view looking up, this is the view looking down, and this is the view when I tell Kalkidan that our restaurant's actually 2 stops ago and we got off the completely wrong station.
You did that on purpose, right? Yeah, you did that on purpose.
Kalkidan, I love you. You're a good sport for putting up with me being annoying. Let's take the elevator.
Which where? What are we?
Did you not know there was an elevator in this station the whole time?
Wait, you